Hello YouTube, it's PS3 Gaming Scotland here and welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are well and gaming lots. So in today's video we'll be looking at another top 5. I got the idea of this top 5 because a pal was like, you love your trophy hunting, but what were the trophies that took the longest for you to get? Now this got me thinking of all the platinums that I've got, all the trophies that I've earned. So this is my top 5 most time consuming trophies on PlayStation. Now this list is my own list. I want to know what trophies took you the longest time down in the comment section below. It could be single player trophies, it could be multiplayer trophies because the servers are down or what have you. I would really interested to hear what your most time consuming trophies on PlayStation are down in the comment section. But without further ado, let's jump into my top 5 most time consuming trophies on PlayStation. Now before we get into this list, this is my own list as I've said, and it's in no particular order, so let's jump into the video. So at number 5 we have, from the remastered Ratchet and Clank game, Master of War. Now this was to upgrade every weapon to max level, to level 10. Now there are roughly 25 to 30 weapons roughly in the Ratchet and Clank remastered version on PS4. Now each weapon had to get to level 10, and some weapons are more time consuming than others because they have less ammo, but the more you use them, the more upgrades you can get for them, and basically as you go through the game, the higher amount of weapons cost more money. So without further ado, you will have to replay the game multiple times just to get to level 10 for most of them. So but there is a really good spot in Blackwater City. There's basically a bit where you're on the top of a ledge and there's like the gooey sort of blob enemies further down the street. They just keep on spawning where the tank is, so you actually just sit on top of the ledge and you just keep going through all your weapons one after one until you lose all the ammo, and then when all your weapons that you've got to that point have lost all their ammo, you just jump down into the water, get eaten by a shark, and you spawn literally right on top of the ledge. Rinse and repeat until you get all your weapons to level 10. Now this does take a while, especially for the ones that are your range weapons or the ones that have limited ammo. But yeah, so that is what I did for the first trophy, which was the Master of War trophy in Ratchet and Clank. Okay, next up we have True Commitment from Tomb Raider the Definitive Edition on PS4, and this was to reach level 60 in multiplayer. Now the reason this took forever is because at the time of recording, when I'm playing the game, the multiplayer servers are dead, so the only way to actually do it is either find other trophy hunters online to get the trophy, or to play with a good number of friends. I think the minimum number in the lobby had to be 4 or 6 players to get this trophy, so I was lucky enough I found fellow Tomb Raider fans on forums, on like the group online on, I think it was PSN profiles, or I'm sure there was a community part of the game where you basically just hit down and it says view community, and there were loads of other people looking for the trophy as well at the time. Any multiplayer trophy it could have been, but this one, to reach level 60 in multiplayer, it can be done solo. So basically there's a mode where you have to basically retrieve all the medkits and drop them off at the enemy base, and as well as collecting all the salvage. So make sure you're in a exhibition match or a solo multiplayer match online. You can do it yourself, put all the maximum medkits to 20 I believe, and rinse and repeat, keep going, and eventually you'll get there. It's very time consuming because it takes forever to unlock all the characters or what have you. But yeah, that was the True Commitment from Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, reaching level 60 in multiplayer. So the third trophy in this list is from Rocket League, and it was drive a total of 50 kilometers. Now that seems that you will pick the trophy eventually, you'll get it eventually, but it was the fact that it was on the same set of tyres. You had to use the same car, the same tyres. As soon as you changed those tyres, it voided the trophy. It took forever, because just playing the game I didn't get it, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, I think the trophy was glitched, because I had to drive a total of 80 kilometres to get the trophy, because it eventually popped after that. So what I did was went into an exhibition match by myself. I then got a rubber band and made it into a figure of 8 round the analog sticks, and that basically just made the car drive round in a small circle. And then while I basically checked on it every couple of hours, so I was watching the telly and I would just check that the car was going round in circles, and eventually it popped. As I think there's a thing in the settings where you can check how many kilometres you've done, and eventually after 75 or 80 kilometres the trophy popped, and which took forever, but it was cheats way of doing it. But I was not going to do it just through normal play, because at the time there wasn't a lot of players online, and I don't know if there is to this day, but that's how I got that trophy. So number 2 on the list is from the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, which was a fantastic group of games. The first one in particular, practice makes perfect. Earn 26 relics, gold or better. So this basically meant for every level in the game you had to get at least a gold score or platinum score on every level. Now there were some really difficult levels. The High Road, there was another one similar to the High Road, it was called, and then there was the lab for the go. I'm sure that was for the orange gem, and there was the 2 castle levels, pitch black. They were really hard, and I remember it took me 3 months of summer 2017, and I'd played the game that much that there was indentations on my thumb of where the analog sticks were. Oh my god, I was so determined to get this first platinum, because it was the most difficult game in the franchise. The first Crash Bandicoot was solid, absolutely bloody hard, and I was so relieved when I done it. I just kept doing it day in, day out until I got it, and then I got my platinum in the first game, and that was one of my biggest gaming triumphs so far to date. I'm so happy, unbelievably happy that I got it. So that was the number 2 was the Practice Makes Perfect trophy for earning all 26 gold or better relics in the first Insane Trilogy game. And finally, the 5th and final number 1, or the 5th and final most time consuming trophy on PlayStation, is in my opinion from the first Watch Dogs game, and it was the Social Lubricant trophy. Now for all you Watchdog fans, you'll know what it is, but this was for completing level 10 against all 3 drinking game opponents. Now when this game first came out, there were 3 drinking game opponents that you had to beat to level 10. The first 2 I think were not too bad, but it was the 3rd guy that was absolutely impossible, so much so that Ubisoft had to bring out a patch which made the drinking games a lot easier, because basically there was a few of them where if you did the left analog stick round in a circle, it was actually in reverse, and you had to get it in a certain circle. And also there was ones like where you just had to press a number of buttons in a certain order to get them, but level 7 onwards were really difficult, and there was a massive patch online that went in, because people were complaining, and I was able to do it I think just before the patch came in, which was absolutely impossible. I actually broke a controller because of rage and frustration that I could not do this, and loads of other people online were finding it really difficult as well. So, but yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions of your most time consuming trophies down in the comment section. And finally, just to recap, the trophies were in no particular order: from Ratchet and Clank, upgrade every weapon to level 10. Master of War trophy number 4 was True Commitment from the Tomb Raider the Definitive Edition to reach level 60 in multiplayer. Number 3 was Far Far Away from Rocket League, which was to drive a total of 50 kilometers on the same set of tyres, which they didn't tell you. Number 2 was Practice Makes Perfect from Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, earn 26 relics, gold or better. And finally, the social lubricant trophy from Watch Dogs, complete level 10 against all 3 drinking game opponents. So there you go guys, that has been my most time consuming trophies on PlayStation. And as always, I want to know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I've been PS3 Gaming Scotland, and I'll see you on another video. Thanks very much indeed guys, bye bye.